you find a way to win a football game. Was Caleb great? No, obviously he was not. Was the offensive line good enough? No, obviously they were not. In the end, you find a way to win a football game. No panic from that team. Second half, I did look at the film last night, or the replay, sat down and just watched and looked, and that Tennessee front four is top 5 in the National Football League. They may not have the best quarterback. They got good wide receiver room, but their defensive front four, that kid Devondre Sweat, holy jeez. What's that guy weigh, 360? The monster up front. But again, Coleman Shelton, you better be better. And I know that kid's 360, and I know they've got all Jeffrey Simmons and all these dudes that come to eat, Harold Landry. Those are good football players. But that's your job, and you better find a way to block better Sunday night when you go to Houston to take on a really good Texans team. But Titans did not cross midfield in the last 2 quarters. Didn't get past the 50. Bears defense pitched a shutout in the second half. DeMarcus Walker, 4 quarterback hits. Billings, 2 hits. Dexter, 2 hits. Taylor, 2 sacks, a forced fumble, and the Bears find a way to win a football game, forcing 3 turnovers, the fumble, and 2 picks in the fourth quarter. And despite a poor offensive performance, they win.
Yeah, the strength of the Bears was a secondary. We talked about this all summer, Cap. We talked about how we couldn't wait to see what the Bears secondary would look like. And guess what? That first game yesterday, we saw Jalen Johnson and Tyreek Stevenson make big plays. Right there, folks, if you're looking for the strength of the football team at this point in time, is what we've talked about leading into the game. It showed up again with Stevenson and Johnson. And then in the trenches, Cap, the DeMarcus Walkers and the Billings and the Dexters and the Taylors, TJ Edwards and Brisker, they all stood out. The defense, more times than not, was stout for this team. And because the offense was so anemic and so poor yesterday, it took the defense to be able to flip the field, to be able to score touchdowns. What we saw yesterday was the same football game that you and I and many of other Bears fans have seen for decades. Same game we saw yesterday, we've seen for decades. The defense having to carry the load for the offense. Special teams played well enough to be able to help the Bears as well. But ultimately, Cap, it comes down to being able to score points. The defense did their job and also the offense's job. It's about time for the offense to carry the mail and do their job too. Once you have that balance, you have a really good football team. But right now, not yet.
Not yet. Again, was Caleb good? Nope. I'm not going to come in here and tell you, well, he was good enough. No, he wasn't. And he would tell you that. I really was impressed with him on his post-game interview, I think with Christina Pink, and then when he talked at the podium. Hey, man, all the love to the defense. They're the ones that got the job done. I've got to be better, and I will be better. The post-game stuff with Coach Eberflus and Kevin Byard speaking to the team. Look, through a long season, there's going to be a day where they score 35 points and bail out the defense. There's going to be many days where the defense is going to bail them and their rookie quarterback out. The bottom line is you're 1-0. Somehow, some way, not the way you drew it up, find a way to win a football game. Nate Davis, you better look in the freaking mirror. You better look in the mirror. He played 18 snaps. He was so bad. Olin put out a tweet of a video clip, and there's Nate Davis completely lost. Lost. Not touching a guy. I know Caleb's got to get the ball out or take the sack earlier on the 19-yard sack, but holy cow. Guys, can we stop somebody? Slow somebody down? They were not great on the offensive line, and that's got to get fixed now. Not tomorrow, now.
Caleb Williams giving credit to the Bears defense for the victory.
Keenan and all of us, we always say that, we can't wait to watch these guys go out there because we know how good they are. We can't wait to watch these guys go out here and, do their thing. And obviously it shows, the brotherhood bond that they've built over the past couple of years. The guys has been playing here, and obviously a couple of new guys, Ryan Poles and Coach, and everybody's done a great job getting all these guys here. But the guys go out there and execute the way they do and the way they did. We couldn't wait, and it shows you all their hard work that they put in.
So thoughts there from Caleb Williams. So Cap, you and I both believe that the Bears could beat the Titans in our predictions on Friday. Now, again, down 17-3 at the half. You're looking at this game. You're saying, okay, how can the Bears get back in this game? And let's talk about your game plan. We brought this up on Thursday and Friday leading into the game. Hey guys, you got to be able to run the football more. And I agree with that wholeheartedly because it's a rookie quarterback. You got to get him comfortable in his first game. He says he's not nervous, but the point is, though, is that it's your first game. And you know the Titans' defensive front, and they sent for a lot. They were getting after Caleb Williams and hurrying him.
Big time.
So my whole thing is that here's the difference between the Bears and Tennessee. Callahan stayed wedded to the run. When he ran into a brick wall with Pollard, he's like, oh, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. And they kept running the football, and they finally got through and got a touchdown for Pollard. They stayed wedded to the run. The Bears started off running the football, and then they decided to go with the short passing game, which is the equivalent of running the football. I think that 22 carries is fine. I expected more. I expected more because it's what we talked about last week.
Completely agree with you.
Yeah.
Great point. I thought the Bears would stay more committed to DeAndre Swift running the football. But boy, oh boy, when you started watching the penetration and the trouble they were having blocking all those dudes, they said, okay, we're going to have to try and use either a shorter passing game. Caleb wasn't great. Again, if Allen doesn't drop the touchdown, I mean, that was a dime.
It was.
Right in his hands in the front left corner of the end zone. And Velus doesn't fumble a kick to give them 3 points. You feel better about what went on in the game. But Caleb can't miss a wide open Keenan Allen down the left sideline. He missed an open Tyler Scott streaking down the field. You cannot miss on those throws.
Cap, so I'm watching this, and the Keenan Allen thing bothered me even this morning when I woke up because that was his first touchdown of his NFL career.
Correct.
It was. And the shorthanded Keenan Allen, who didn't drop anything, dropped that pass. And I'm like, come on now. Listen, it's been a rough day at the office offensively. You have to be as close to perfect as possible. When you're having a rough day and you're that close, you got to catch the football.
Got to catch the football.
You just have to do it. But we talk about about the offensive line. It's funny. Did we not play the soundbite last week of Tom Thayer, color analyst for the Chicago Bears, right here on the home of the Bears, ESPN 1000? I put his feet to the fire because he was non-committal early in camp. I said, what's the letter grade for the offensive line? You remember what he said? Incomplete.
Yeah.
I said, before this game now against Tennessee, Tom, what's the letter grade for the offensive line? C. And that's the best that he can do is a C. Guess what? It was even less than that on Sunday. So not only Caleb Williams not comfortable enough to be able to get the ball down the field, not only the drop pass from Keenan Allen, but the offensive line, it could have been a tsunami. Thank God it was just 2 sacks. It could have been a tsunami from that defensive line going after Caleb Williams. It was just 2 sacks, but I'm saying that's got to get better. But keep in mind coming in, it wasn't a unit that we were 100% confident in. Thayer said C. That's not good enough with a rookie quarterback.
Completely agree. Not good enough. They were not good enough. Caleb was not good enough. Again, that is one of the best defensive front fours they're going to face. Not the best team, but that unit among the best in the National Football League. But guess what? You get paid too, man. You better do your freaking job. Coleman Shelton was terrible. And then he read a play where he went and they tripled a pass rusher because they were having a tough time stopping him. And here comes a stunt, and there goes Harold Landry, I think it was, right through the unguarded center. Bam! Like, oh, God. Dude, you better make sure your responsibility is taken care of first and foremost before you go help somebody else.
So you gave the resume last week about Coleman Shelton, and you talked about, how look what he's paid versus other centers in the league or even in the division.
You get what you pay for.
Yeah.
You buy a center that makes $3 million on a 1-year deal, and you go, okay, go get him, big guy. Well, guess what? See the Chiefs center, Creed Humphrey? What he just said for $70 million? What did Jason Kelsey make before he retired? $17 million a year? You get what you pay for. You go buy a little Yugo or a smart car, and you're like, it's not as quick, as fast as some of the others out there. My Corvette. Well, guess what? You didn't buy a Corvette. That's my one issue with them up there. I don't think they put enough into their offensive line. Now, am I glad Roma Dunze's here? I am. Absolutely. Absolutely glad. But you better this offseason prioritize that group in front.
Again, what we saw on Sunday was like a lot of games that we've seen in our lives as Bears fans where the defense gets the job done. I will give the secondary credit, and it's fortunate that the Bears won the game. They earned it, but it's also fortunate because Will Levis throwing the football away like a 3-year-old right into the hands of one of our secondary players for a touchdown, that also helped the cause. Like,
oh, my goodness.
Will Levis, there's a semblance. You could kind of see it if you squint. That guy could be a pretty good football player. But just for him to throw the football away like that and just give the Bears 7 points, that'll be all.
He put a little mayonnaise on it.
He did he put some dukes on it. That's for sure. Yeah.
Mayo and an unpeeled banana. Isn't that what Danny said?
Yeah. Thank goodness.
Thank goodness.
Right? Because, you either take the sack or throw it in the ground. He just flips it right to one of our guys.
I was like, Stevenson. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What are you doing, Levis? Like, if I was the coach there, oh, my God. Better air him out, and he better understand ball security. So you had Darrell Taylor. That one paid dividends.
That was a great,
2 sacks, a strip sack, and the fumble recovery, I think, by TJ Edwards.
Yeah.
You had the pick by Jalen Johnson that sealed it at the end. And then the big play was the pick 6 by Tyreek Stevenson that gave the Bears the 24-17 lead after they went for 2 and got it with DeAndre Swift. And then you had the block punt. Daniel Hardy, who some thought, I don't know if this dude's going to make the roster. Glad he's there. Man, he just came up with a huge play, and Jonathan Owens, scoop and score.
Yes.
And Simone Biles is tweeting about it. Like, there was a lot of cool stuff yesterday. And the coolest is you wake up 1-0. That's what good football teams do. Find a way. I don't care what happened. Find a way. It's a team sport.